China's battle against corruption set new records last year when the ruling Communist Party's anti-corruption watchdog launched investigations against 45 senior officials, according to a tally by the South China Morning Post. The record number of investigations came 5 years after Chinese President Xi Jinping declared a landslide victory in his war on corruption, a sweeping crackdown launched in 2013. The ongoing investigation indicates he has little interest in conceding an attempt to clean up China's bureaucracy while placing increasing pressure on authorities to implement his policies. The number of high-level investigations launched in 2023 increased by 40% compared to 2022, when the Central Commission for Discipline Inspection, CCDI, China's main anti-corruption agency, recorded 32 investigations into high-ranking officials, according to the official announcements of the CCDI. Most of those investigated, sometimes called tigers, belonged to a group of officials known as centrally administered cadres, meaning they held ranks at the level of deputy minister or higher. A smaller number of them held slightly lower ranks, but held key positions in important sectors. Unlike their subordinates, who are directed and supervised by the local branches of the organization and the party's disciplinary agency, the group of senior officials is under the direct direction of the Central Organization Department of the Communist Party, its highest governing body. If crimes are discovered, they will face high-level investigations by the CCDI. According to further investigations, 27 of the 45 senior cadres who had been arrested by disciplinary control withdrew from their positions when they were investigated. Deng Yuan, former deputy editor of Steady Times, the official newspaper of the Central Party School where cadres are trained, said that the fact that most of the CCDI's investigations have focused on retired officials indicates that the investigations have uncovered more misconduct before she took power, and that such retirements would not allow people to avoid further investigation. Among the officials arrested in recent years, not many have been caught for corruption in their current positions. Most of the problems occurred in the last few years, or even more than 10 or 20 years ago. The CCCD no longer follows the previous tacit rule that retired officials will not be investigated, he said. No one is safe now. As she digs deeper, he uncovers more problems that have accumulated over the past 3 decades due to rapid economic development and lax party discipline. And there are no signs that he has stopped digging. By the Post's count, in the 11 years since the anti-corruption campaign was launched, a total of 294 senior officials have been fired by the CCCD. However, this figure does not include the majority of corruption investigations in the Chinese military, which conducts its own investigations through the Commission for Discipline Inspection. The agency, which operates within China's top military command, the Central Military Commission, CMC, led by Xi, operates in extreme secrecy. Beijing announces these cases very selectively, as it did with investigations into former CMC Vice Presidents Su Kai-ho and Guo Buxiong during Xi's first presidential term. They were the highest-ranking officers of the People's Liberation Army who had been targeted since the start of the anti-corruption campaign. Prior to 2023, the highest-ranking officials investigated in a single year by the CCDI were in 2014, when 38 people were attacked. In 2020, 18 officials were investigated. But the annual figure has been increasing since then. 25 senior officials were investigated in 2021 and 32 in 2022. On Saturday, the National People's Congress, China's top legislative body, announced the dismissal of 9 generals. 5 of the officers were former or current senior commanders of the PLA missile force, a key component of the country's nuclear arsenal. Among them were Liu Chao, who commanded the missile force from January last year until replacing him in July, and his former deputy, Zhang Jinzhong. Beijing did not confirm whether any of the 9 men were under investigation for alleged corruption, although some were reportedly already under investigation early last year. A political researcher from Peking University said there are many clear signs suggesting that China's tiger hunt will expand further in 2024. We have the dismissal of former Foreign Minister Qin Gang and former Defense Minister Li Shangfu. We also saw that the National People's Congress just officially dismissed 9 PLA generals, which means that a thorough investigation in the Army has obtained preliminary results, said the researcher, who did not want to be identified due to the sensitivity of the issue. No reason was given for the dismissal of Chin and Li, who were stripped of their posts last year. I suspect that only a small amount of information about these cases will be made public, just because of the minimal amount of paperwork. The CCCD will begin its third plenary session from next Monday to set work priorities in the new year for tens of millions of discipline inspectors across the country.
For more news like this across the globe, please subscribe to our channel, like and share this video. Thank you.